absolute legend is waiting in the wings at the moment. I would like to welcome to talkBULL, two-time world finalist, a good mate of Colin Lloyd as well, Mr. Bobby George. Bobby, how are we?
Still here. I'm still here, mate.
Oh, you got the bling on, my friend. What chains we got on there? How many rings we got on today?
No, I've only got I've got no more fingers on this hand, so I've got enough on it. It's all chocolate, by the way, and sugar. That is. Yeah.
Do you reckon that's worth more than the gold that the boys picked up last night, or what?
Well, I was listening, and they said like 30 grand a set of darts. They're not. Gold is expensive, but if they're going to make darts, say they make them 25 grams of darts, right? They don't come to 30 grand. No way. In fact, I should put them away. I bought myself a set of gold darts, or maybe 20 years ago. There were a few quid, but 30 grand's a bit, it's publicity stunt, I suppose. It's going to cost them a few grand, but not 30 grand.
I think something like that, and I think with the 18-karat gold and winning the golden darts, they should have you on stage presenting it to him. The King of Bling should be presenting the golden darts to the 9-darter. You know what I mean?
Well, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Eh?
Yeah.
At least, see, they say 9-carat. You get 9-carat gold, 18-carat gold, 24-carat gold. They're all gold, but one's a lot more expensive than the other. So when they say 30 grand, God knows where they've got the gold from, to be honest with you.
Bobby, last night, Luke Littler completely he destroyed the show yet again. 2 wins in the Premier League season for him so far. Me and Colin are going to get on Stephen Bunting, and I want to know your thoughts on this because we've been speaking about him the last couple of weeks. Another loss for him. I mean, I'm really feeling for him at the moment. Averaged 98 so far in the Premier League. He still hasn't gotten himself a win. He looks so dejected, Bobby. And when you're in a situation like what he's in, what is the best thing for him right now?
Well, I feel for him myself. I mean, I've been a dart player. He's playing pretty good darts, 98 average. He's playing well, but sometimes that happens. You can play well, and the guy who plays that little bit better. Now, Stephen's been around for a long, long while. I mean, I know him since he was a youngster. His dad used to take him to the darts. But one thing about Stephen, he keeps on going. He don't give up. He won the BDO World Championship. I was commentating that year. He won it. He played extremely well. He goes to the PDC. He don't play so well. He pushes himself, wins a couple of titles. He gets in the Premier League. Now, Premier League, you got the best dart players in the world, and he's one of them. There's always one going to be last. You can't all be up the top. But he's just got to keep playing as he's playing and hope the other players don't play as well against him, to be honest with you. I felt sorry for him. Plays so well and he gets beat up all the time.
Me and Cole were speaking about, Cole was really good on this. We had Barney on talkSPORT Breakfast yesterday and talking about the hectic schedule of going from Minehead back into the Premier League, then had the Pro Tour. They've got the Euro Tour this week as well. Do you think Michael van Gerwen is going through a bit of fatigue at the moment, or I looked at
the first game last night. He played all right. He scored well and finished well, but he looked tired. He looks tired, and when he played Little, he just didn't put nothing together at all. He pushes himself a lot. He goes in everything, and it's not just the PDC tournaments. He's going exhibitions, flying there, train fare there, picking up from the airport. You never have a break. And that's the thing people don't realise. They think, well, they just throw darts, that's easy. It's not the darts, it's the travelling, the timing. You've got to get there. You can't be late. You're on the actual television, or whatever you want to show off. But when you're tired, you can't do it. And Michael looks very tired. I would think, he won't have a break. Because I said to him before, you're doing too much, Michael. He said, Granddad, you've got to have the bees. I told him to get the bees and honey. so that's what he's doing. When people pay you good money, it'd be a fool not to say he won't play. But on the other hand, for fix his darts when he's in a tournament and he's gone over the top, he looks worn out.
How long do you actually, because we've had conversations about this before, but how long do you really see Michael going on for? Because he is one of the true greats in the modern era, and you think about Taylor going on into his late 50s and still winning. Do you see Michael packing it in the next couple of years, or is he going to stick at it and play for another 20-odd years or so?
He don't know any different. He hasn't got a trade. He doesn't know anything any different than throw darts. And he's been playing darts, I've known him since he was 13 years old, and he was a great player then. He's won, I don't know, 150 odd tournaments in the PDC, the most I think anyone's ever won. But every good player has a part of his life that family problems, anything like that, he just don't perform, or he's tired. He's not going to give up. How can he give up when they're paying him good, getting the old bees and honey? You don't give up. You play yourself out of it, don't you? Hey?
I mean, you mentioned the bees and honey last night, and we've mentioned the 9 darters. In your day, what would you get? And I've asked Cole this before. What would you get for hitting a 9 darter? I mean, remember the legendary first televised 9 darter of John Lowe versus Keith Deller. But if you were to hit a 9, Bobby, what would be your prize back in the day?
Well, I'll tell you the story. I played for a local league in Barkingside, and I played a guy called Ronnie Hayward, and I'd done a 9 darter against him. And the guy who chalked me, chalking, he said, "I'll buy you a drink with that." He bought me half a pint of lager. That's all I got.
Our times have changed.
So the thing is, I'll tell you a little story here. I've got the actual sheet, the scoring sheet, that when John Lowe done the 9 darter, I got it in my bar in that frame. That was 41 years ago. The official got it. He said to John, "Do you want it?" He said, "No, he's just looking for the cheque." When he turned, he was looking for the cheque, and he don't worry about a bit of paper. Anyway, he signed it, and I've got it. So that's probably one of the most well, you're never going to get memorabilia like that. This one off. No. But 9 darter in my day was very rare, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, trebles were smaller. And then we used to, I've done that on an elm board. Well, the elm board was made of wood, tiny little trebles. When I think about it, I don't know how I used to play that. But they should say to me, even the top player said, "How did you play on a board that tiny?" I said, "Because I didn't know any different." We didn't. You didn't know no different. But 9 darter, he's still a great feeling. That I was talking to my wife last night, and I thought, he's going to do a 9 darter, Luke. And he done the 9 darter, great. And all the bickering up in the air and all that. It was good. And then when Cross was playing, I said he'd probably do a 9 darter and lose as well. And he did. I can't believe it. Every time they hit a 9 darter, they seem to lose. The best 9 darter you can do in a tournament is the last leg you play.
Yeah.
You know, but it's great to see it. I mean, 2 in one night. I mean, you know, not bad, is it? And chucking a pint over you as well. You know, that was a bit naughty. I've seen that in the England game. They've used to throw cans. They used to have cans, no glasses or no tumblers. And I can't remember the guy's name. I was there. Anyway, they're all booing him. And one bloke chucked a can of beer at him, and he caught it. He actually caught the can and drank it and chucked it back to him. I thought that was great. How about that? Yeah.
Well, that's just the characters we had back in the day as well. And I mean, you as a character coming out of all the bling, and you think about Bristow and whatnot, and the personalities that you had back in the day. Do you feel like looking back at it now and you see where darts is at? Yeah, the standard is phenomenal and whatnot. But do you really think we have a lack of characters right now? Because it all seems like walk-on music. You don't really have those cheeky chappies like yourself and Eric Bristow. Everyone's almost a bit like media trained, aren't they?
Yeah, the thing is, personality, you don't learn it. You don't read it in a book. You either got it or you haven't got it. But the guys today, I mean, I'll get on well with them. They all got similar personalities when you know them. But to the audience, they're there's no characters, like you say, but they're wrapped up in cotton wool now. They can't go in the audience, even in the shows. They play their game, do the walk on, and then they're in the back room. So the public don't see what personality they've got. They don't run each other down. They're very nice to each other. In my day, they used to have a right old slagging match, for the audience. But they're absolutely in Cornwall. That they've been trained not to. You just play the game of darts. That's what they want. Play a good game of darts, get off the stage. The walk-ons is great. I mean, when I started the walk-ons, and I never thought at the time that the walk-ons would be that popular. But I started the walk-ons, few players didn't like it, and then they started getting their own walk-on music. And I think without the music and the crowd singing, the darts wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same. If you just played darts, walked off the stage, had that 3-minute break, whatever it is, called the players on, but that walk-on and the singing, it's a party atmosphere. They're all dressing up. I mean, I dressed up. I might have looked a right wally when I first done it, because no one ever done it. Sequin shirts and then I had a cape, and I've done it more for fun. I've done it for fun. But then if you dress up like that, you still got to be pretty good. That's what I mean. You can't dress up and throw like an idiot. You know what I mean?
And we're not going to see someone with a nipple pocket as well. I mean,
oh yeah, so that's that excites
it's down
me.
near his belly button now.
I've got all different sayings on my nipple pocket. Like I've got a Welsh one. It says, "Could you, would you, or should you?" Right, and then I've got "hello" on another one. But what I like, I thought it was great. England management bought me a sequin shirt. Really lovely, red cross on the back, beautiful. Had a pocket on it. I wore it. I never knew it had the pocket on it. I never even bothered to look. And one day I thought, well, where's the pocket? Oh, there, and I pulled it down, and it said, "God save the Queen." I couldn't stop laughing. That made me laugh. That did.
And you managed to get a laugh out of John Lowe as well, who obviously old stone face. And I mean, it was just unbelievable television, Bobby.
Oh, I've done it. I've done it on the World Championship.
Yeah.
I think I did. Yeah, John Rose said that's disgusting. Yes, he did. I don't think he likes it, but it's a bit of fun, isn't it? It makes it's people watch darts for the fun and the characters. They like to see the characters play and probably have a go at each other, and it makes it more entertaining. But today it's all nice, shaking hand, kissing each other. Look away when he the beginning of the game, he played Luke Humphries, because Luke is very cuddly. He cuddles people, and he licks his neck. He didn't lick his ear. He probably changed his mind. I probably wanted to kiss him, but he done that. And the camera goes on it, and they make a big thing of it. But he's like that. He does things unorthodox, right? He just thinks of something and does it. Nothing wrong in it. It's just a bit of fun. I would have laughed. If you'd done it, I would have laughed and asked him to give me a kiss or something.
Well,
make it more interesting.
Was it 1980 final when Eric Bristow kissed you on the cheek?
Yeah, I never got over it. Never got over it. He kissed me on the cheek. Yeah, he's all right, Eric. I knew him when he was a young guy. I travelled around the country with him and abroad, and we played played the tournament, split the money, and I played him in the world. He beat me. He beat me for a square. I had a chance, and I blew it. That starts, isn't it? But what or not, I didn't mind losing. I just didn't like him kissing me. To be honest with you, that spoilt the day completely.
What was Eric really like? Because obviously you both met him, and I never had the honour of meeting the great Eric Bristow. Just what was he like to share the hockey with? Because I know Cole's mentioned he could be quite nasty, and Peter Manley we had on last week when they were playing in Perth, it was like, "You're playing in front of my people now, son," and just trying to get in people's heads.
He did, but Eric wasn't. He wasn't tight. Eric, he'd buy you a drink and things like that. He's polite in the morning. If I'm going in a guest house or something and he's in it, he'd save me a place to park. He was in the rain one day and he's got his arms right out and he's stopping anyone parking. He got soaked just so I could get into a car park at the space and don't get wet. But 11 o'clock is completely different. He has to go at you. He's rude, nasty. But he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I don't know why he was like that, but he was a nuisance when he had a drink. Put it that way. He was a nuisance, but he was a character. That's the thing. He was a character.
He was good. But before he'd had a drink, Bob, he was good company, wasn't he? You could have breakfast with him. You could have your first few pints with him. It was lovely. And then it got to that time. I always used to say when the bottom lip used to start dropping, time to go to bed. Make a cool, sharp heart, weren't it?
Well, he was. In the end, a lot of people used to put me and him for pairs and put us on first so they get rid of him. He can go home then. And then he wasn't. That's true. That was true. Yeah, that was true, Carl, wasn't it? I'd go on the pairs with him just so he wouldn't get so many points down and be rude to people. So he didn't mind. He was out the door by past 8. He got same money, same price, he used to say to me. But he was great. He was good for the game because he was a character. A lot of people hated him. You know, when Della beat him, they loved it. But they hated Eric. But Eric wasn't all bad. He just come across arrogant, bit rude. But I knew him differently. You know, I used to pull him up and say, don't talk like that, and he used to shut up. But, he was a character, great player. But you didn't miss much by not meeting him, Harry.
Yeah, that's one thing, because...
Colin's laughing there.
Eric Bristow trained Phil Taylor. Can you remember the first time that you heard the name Phil Taylor and when you met him, Bobby?
First time I met him was at Eric's wedding. He had long hair, right down his back, nothing on his head, but right long hair he had. And he saw Phil Taylor, so he was a bit of a nuisance, to be honest with you. I thought, who's this guy? You know, kept on one the Canadian Open or something, and once the other. And Eric even said, Eric never trained him. You can't. He knew he was a good dart player, so he lent him 10 grand to go into tournaments. But he didn't train him. He got that ability himself. Eric always told me he never paid him back. But, you know, Taylor never paid him back. That's what he used to say. But Taylor, when he gave him that chance to go abroad to win tournaments, and then he gets better than the person that he's meant, I don't know what you call it, not his trainer. Yeah, he must have hurt Eric in a way. And when he played him, he used to beat Eric up all the time. And that must have hurt Eric big time to do that.
Well, yeah, he sent him to Canada, I think, to play against Bob Anderson.
Yeah.
And I think he beat Bob. But there's something that really interested me that I saw in the papers the other day, and I saw it on social media. Phil Taylor recently spoke to the Mirror and said if Littler lives like a monk for the next 20 years, he can break all sorts of records. He's advised him to stay away from nightclubs, booze, and fast cars. And I mean, I can get both of your expertise analysis on this as well. With the experience that you both had as players and looking back on it now, and you seeing the trajectory of Luke Littler, would you advise him to live the monk lifestyle? Or, I mean, you two have had one hell of a life. Or should Luke just, live his life, have the fun, go to the nightclubs, drive the fast cars?
Well, look, put it this way, he's a young man. When they asked me about and what you advise him, I advised him not to grow up. That's the easiest part. Don't grow up. Then you don't drive fast cars. Taylor's took that off out my words, because I said that fast cars and young ladies and nightclubs. He's earning a few quid. You can't blame me. He's going to go not off the rails, but he wants to do something what he wants, and he could never do before he was a famous star player. But you've got to keep his feet on the ground. It's the people he lives with or looks after him has got to say on, you better not go there, or you better not do this. Thing is, don't grow up and save your money. Save the old peas and honey, son. That's what you got to do.
Target Darts last week as well on their social media promoted Littler versus Taylor. And And there's always a bit of, is this just a case they're releasing a range together? Are they going to do an exhibition together? Will they actually play each other? Vincent van der Voort has said you don't want to see Taylor humiliated if they are to play each other in an exhibition. And we know it'll be an exhibition, but would you like to see them two play for the spectacle, or do you agree with Vincent? Because obviously Phil's not going to be the player that he once was. And, Phil's not going to want to be showing up as well, is he?
Look, he was a great player. You have your day. You get to a certain age in your life in your sport. Everyone has it, and you can't. Your body doesn't allow you to play as you used to. If he played Littler now, he'd get slaughtered. It'd be most embarrassing. I mean, the thing is, he's retired. He's played in the seniors, and he can't even win in the seniors. So playing a guy that's one of the greatest players in the world at this time, he's got no chance. But if he does it for the money, then all right, take the B's and A back. It takes all the credit for what he's done, and a young guy of 18 beats him up. He ain't got a chance. He's too good, that young boy. He's too good. Taylor was a great player, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he would have beat Littler even in his heyday, because his scoring power is so good, his finishing is unbelievable. The only way he could probably have a chance to beat him is take the double 10 off the board.
Yeah,
because that's what you can hit every time. He's got double tap or double top, bang, straight in. Taylor was a great player, but not as good as Littler. That's my opinion, mind you.
Do you think he's... I ask this question all the time, and it's a cliche, and you're probably bored of hearing it as well. If Luke stays on that track and keeps on winning for the next 20, 25 years, is he going to surpass Phil Taylor?
Of course he will. You know, he's... Put it this way, I know the money jumps up now than it did in my day and even in Taylor's day. He can earn a lot of money, but the thing, he's got to maintain that skill he's got, dedication to the game. 20 years, yeah, he'll only be young, but it's a long while, 20 years to be at the top. But he can win loads of tournaments. Like, look at Michael van Gerwen. Was it 35, Michael, something like that, or is he older?
Yeah, about 34, 35.
Yeah, look what he's won. Look at the money he's earned. He's been, he had the right parents with him as well. He's looked after his piece of money, and he's got all the rewards. Littler's he's earned a lot of money in a short time, but you don't end up with it. You have to pay different people out. You know, you got managers, you got expenses, you got a tax man, you got loads of other things when you're earning that sort of money. So he's just got he will. If he keeps on, he'll win more than any other player. But if he's half alive in it, you know, he's still alive if he's half of it. It's a small word, but it means a lot. 20 years, no, it's tough to do it in 20. Keep doing it for 20 years.
Especially with all the players that are coming up against him as well, and players that are rising. Bobby, I've just got a couple more quick questions for you. Firstly, I want to know what a young Colin Lloyd was like, because I absolutely adore the man. But what were
he's a lovely boy. He is. What? He's not because he's in front of me. He's a mate of mine anyway. He comes round. I'll come round to see him, bro. Comes round. He always brings cakes. I don't know if I look hungry.
Yeah, loves his bacon.
But always brings some cakes with him. He was a great player. He was a great player. I mean, he still is. And what annoys me with Colin, I say, no, why don't you go in the seniors? He could win the seniors. He's that good a player still. But he just, like he said, he wouldn't enjoy it. He don't want to keep on the dartboard every day in. You've got to keep on the dartboard. But Colin he's got a gift. He's a great exhibition player. I played with him, right? And I put my fingers across the double top. I played him in an exhibition. I'll put my fingers across the double. So he has to go from my fingers to hit the double. So he got on a chair. I thought, now here, he's taking it out of me now. He's going to stick it in my head. And he stood on the chair, boom, straight in the double. Didn't even hit my fingers. That's remember that, Cole? Hey?
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
So I trust him as a dart player. I remember, I'll tell you another little story. He couldn't hit double 16. He got keep getting done 5-6, 5-6, 5-6. So I said, well, you can't miss the double 16. I said, you've got to practice at it. So I made him hit 64 double 16s before he went home. Right? Now that's hard. And then he took the darts out and he went, right, I'm going now. I said, no, you're not. You've got to hit bullseye. Got to hit the bullseye, you can go. So he just threw the dart straight in the bullseye. I said, see you later. That's it. That's a true story. That's how good he is.
Lloydie coming in clutch as always. Come on, Jaws. Bobby, I've wanted to hold this question just for you because I knew you'd give me a good answer for this, what I'm about to ask you. I love, obviously, when the players are walking on and they're signing bits of memorabilia, signs, T-shirts. And when Luke Humphries won the Masters this year, he signed a bottle of water for someone. And I just trust you're going to give me a really good answer. What's the weirdest thing that Bobby George has had to sign in his career? Because I know there is going to be an absolute mental
Remember, this
thing.
is a family show, Bob.
Bobby, you say whatever you want.
Harry, I can't. You want me to say it then?
Oh, go on.
I just signed the vagina once. That's true. I'm not telling porkies either. I've got my name and address on it as well.
What's the weirdest thing that isn't a body part that you've signed?
that is the weirdest thing I've ever signed. Oh dear. I signed a lot of boobs, by the way. I do. I signed a lot of boobs.
My headphones have come out. I was laughing too much.
No, that's true. I can sign boobs, right? And they get their boobs out and tell me to sign them. But I can tell the difference if they're real. Because when they're false, you can sign the pen easy. When they're not false, the pen sinks into them and you can't sign very good. And I'll tell them, you've got artificial ones there, and then the others, I'll say, these are real. I can tell the difference. I'm probably the only dart player that'll do that. You know? It's fun. It's fun. It's something, isn't it? It's just a bit of fun.
Oh, Bobby.
Well, you asked me the question. I did answer it fair and square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You know?
I mean, what I've got to ask you now to clear it up. Which inanimate object is the weirdest thing that you've signed? Like, have you ever signed like a samurai sword, or someone's had something so random with them that you've like a piece of paper, like a newspaper or anything like that? It's like, oh, just give me a signature or anything. Apart from body parts, what's the weirdest thing you've signed?
Weirdest thing I've ever signed. That's a good one. I never really thought of that. I've signed a bloke's shoes. I know that on the side of his trainers. I signed that. That was unusual. Took his trainer off and said, sign that. You know, weird. You do sign, I can't really remember. I mean, cases I signed, photographs I signed, shirts. Everyone signs the shirt. I like a pair of shoes, trainers I signed. I better not say what I'm going to say. No, I better not say that. But I signed quite a few unusual things, put it that way.
Bobby George, we're going to leave it there, okay, before all three of us can never ever...
I'll get into trouble. Harry, you'll get me into trouble, you will.
Until all three of us can never work again and can never be behind a microphone.
Right, thank you very much, Harry.
Bobby, have a good one. Speak to you soon, my friend.